We had just spent an awesome week with my best friend Melina and her family. Now it was time to move the bus and enter into the next stage of our Wisconsin visit, education time. I grew up in rural southwest Wisconsin. This is an area characterized by beautiful rolling hills and farmland. Our communities are small and close-knit. There's an old saying that goes, "It takes a village to raise a child." Well, that's the beautiful part of growing up in a place like this. Here, you have the village that rises to the occasion. Throughout our lives as young people, Jose and I were very blessed with mentors, teachers, and educational settings that help shape who we are. That's part of why we want to do the same with Aren't We There Yet? So now was the time to do what we do. Engage with the young ones of the world, share what we do, and splash a little color along the way. And this was extra special for me because we were visiting the schools that helped shape and form my path as a human. So we started at Pleasant Ridge Waldorf School, where I attended preschool through 5th grade. Hey, so we're at Pleasant Ridge. This is where I went to elementary school. We are going to perform and talk to the choir a little bit and have them go see the bus. This is a very special place for me because this is where I got my musical roots from. Well, I guess it really started with, family. My grandpa, my mom, my dad. But this place helps support it as well. So.
We are going to give a big welcome. Cora will talk to us and play some music for us. Okay, and then there will be an opportunity to tour the bus that they, I know, that they travel in and live in. So we're really excited to hear about Cora's story, and let's give her a big warm welcome. I'm sure you guys experienced that. Some days you're like, I'm not doing anything. Hey man, you got your life, you got everything for you, never twice. Kind of like you got North America, and then you got South America, right? Nicaragua's right there.
When we go to schools, we like to share our story, talk about the project, share our art, and of course, answer lots of questions. But hands down, you know who is always the biggest hit of them all?
I want to hide out in this. This is so cool. Oh, yeah. Whoa. This is cool.
I like it. It's like a little house.
Yeah, it's everything you need, right?
Yeah. An oven.
Yeah.
A microwave. A shower. That right here. No, I am 5'5".
Pleasant Ridge was a very special place for me. It was an educational setting that inspired a great deal of wonder and curiosity in the world. I have memories of walking these sidewalks as a little girl, fascinated by the color of the autumn leaves. And now, how cool was it, 30 years later, to be doing it with my partner, my dude, my guy. Good morning. So we are at the Youth Initiative High School, and we are going to meet some students today to talk about any number of things. Art, travel, tiny home living, all of the above, and basically just answer the questions that they have about this whole thing we're doing and the lifestyle that we live. And I'm really excited to be here because this is right in my hometown. So here we go. I never went to high school here. I went to high school in Westby, but most of the students that I was in diapers with, all of my close, dear friends, did go here. One of my little sisters went here, so got, a connection to it, even if I didn't go here personally. It's a cool school. This, the Waldorf school, I did go to from 1st through 5th grade, or kindergarten as well. And when we first moved into this building, this was all concrete. All here, all this. So it's really cool to see how they've like turned it into a prairie.
Big building. It's a big building.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on here. It's a big community space. This is where we're gonna come Friday night for the play. There's a whole theater in there. We're here. So it's an interesting thing that even in our own little spaces, in our own community, we can travel a lot by just going to a different town where, you know, and getting to know some grandma there and learning about how she likes to make lessa or something, you know. In your own space you can travel, and I really enjoyed that growing up, that I was able to kind of travel in my own space. I was just curious about the world, like classrooms like this where you have maps everywhere. I was like, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go there.
Map room.
Yes. So I moved to China to teach. And that's where I met this cool dude whose story is way cooler than mine, so I'm going to shut up now.
And for me, coming from Nicaragua, third world country where a lot of people come and help, having a component where we give back to communities was really important. Not just to travel for travel's sake and for inspiration to create our own work, but also to give something of value back to communities. Inspiration or help create murals.
You know, it's like people aren't always going to know what you're aiming for and what you're getting and what you're shooting for, and it's not your job to make them see it. Like, you do you, boo, and then other people, once they see it, they'll start to get it, and if they don't, still not your problem.
For some people, it's really hard to understand the ideas that are in your head. Sometimes you just got to go ahead and do it, and then they will see that your idea was actually great, you know? Yeah. So follow your dreams, and I think the only thing that stop most people from following their dreams is to give that first step. You know, you have your dream right here, but unless you give that first step, you're not gonna learn how to make the dream come true. You just gotta give that first step and jump into it, and then things reveal themselves. They show you the path.
We gutted it out, and so what we got inside is we customized it exactly for our needs. So me being a musician, we built a recording studio. Jose being a photographer and videographer, we built like the space for him to do his photography, videography stuff, and portraits, like photography portrait series.
Oh. But had it been used as a school bus?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bus number 44.
Do you mind if I take pictures?
So they're asking, how do we get along in the bus? You know, like how do we get sick of each other?
Yeah, it's nice to have one door.
And now for you guys now that are here, I can the outside.
Those are salt flats. That's the world's largest salt factory. What? We definitely got stuck there. It was worth it.
That's a sand dune.
To be parked in the middle of sand dunes. It was pretty awesome.
Where was that? Carolina?
That was in Bahamas. Beautiful vignettes.
Is that a movie? You have like a little movie?
Yeah, we did a projector. And then we all slept out under the stars.
There's still a old outside you got to work with here. You could have tables come out.
So many people we've connected with and shared dinner with.
Oh, that's your dad.
Family.
Your mom. And your sister.
Yep.
That's
You
Jamie.
just like recognize them on the spot?
Jamie went to Youth Initiative.
Yep. Murals. Think about that in relation to
That is a lot of
yeah. And that's just one side. There's the other side.
Wow. That's super cool.
Yeah. This is a before and an after.
What the heck?
This was an art building. This was the art center.
Wow.
And people kept making like a mistake, like they thought it was an airplane hangar.
Sure.
And
Not anymore.
now it's very clear what it is.
Oh man, thank you so much for opening it up.
Living.
Your home.
Yeah. Making a difference.
Actually living life. Yeah, I would.
Making a difference. So.
After our visits to Pleasant Ridge and the Youth Initiative High School, we headed off into the countryside. It's hard to put into words how important and special this little pocket of the world is to me. My heart sang to be here, driving through these hills, in our little home on wheels, sharing this place with my partner, once again back in the land that made me. Okay, we're in a very, very, very special place. This is Avalanche, which is about a 5-minute bike ride from where I grew up. I used to come here a lot. I was telling Jose, so I used to come here a lot. There used to be this old blue store here. It used to be a school, and then they turned it into a store, and we would ride our bikes here and we would buy candy and ice cream. And now it's not here anymore.
Now they put a school bus in here.
Now they put a school bus here. Crazy people. This is really special. We used to come, we would ride our bikes here, get jacked up on sugar. And then there was a swinging bridge over there. I don't know if it doesn't look like it's there, but we could check it out. And we would go on that and we would catch crawdads and be kids.
Awesome.
Yeah. So over on this road, this is like a kind of road that wasn't really that necessary, only to get like to one house over there. And so our bus driver would take, his name was John, he would take us on this road that he didn't need to go on just because there's a really big bump over on that side. And he'd go really fast.
So you guys can jump in the back.
And we'd jump in the back. He'd be like, ready? We'd be like, ready! And then he'd go over and we'd go flying. It was awesome. I'd say let's try it in our bus, but our equipment's back there, so no.
No jumping on the bus. No jumping.
Here's the river.
Kickapoo.
The West Fork of the Kickapoo. This is the river that I wrote the song about.
Okay, now this one jumping.
No jumping. Yeah, no jumping allowed. No jumping. You ever played poo sticks?
Poo sticks?
Poo sticks.
What's that?
You choose a stick, and I choose a stick, and we drop our sticks in on this side of the river, and then, or this side of the bridge, and then we go to this other side and see whose stick wins.
Oh.
Invented by Winnie the Pooh himself, hence
Really?
the name. Poo sticks.
Will this work?
Yeah, as long as it'll float. Okay, I need a stick. Okay, my stick.
Ready?
Your stick, we gotta drop them at exactly the same time in the same spot. Ready? 1, 2, 3, drop.
Ha!
Okay, now we go. Whose stick is gonna win? Whose stick is gonna win? Oh, the suspense.
It's not long distance. Where are they? They sank.
They couldn't sink. There they are! I win! I'm so happy you picked that stick for me. See?
I picked the stick, so I win!
See? You're not the only one who had fun with just sticks. Now let's go see the haunted house.
The haunted house. Yeah. The house in the haunted house.
To this day, I've never gone inside this house. My mom told me if I went inside the house, I'd fall through the floor.
Is that the one over there?
Yeah. It's still standing.
We're walking, right?
Yeah, let's walk. Let's go over the jump. I think it's good to come here and kind of see it and be able to
Not
let
rush.
to let go, to be able to like be like, places are just places and you don't really own them. You don't belong to them. They don't belong to you.
Well, the thing is, the place with other people you enjoy to play with. You're not here anymore. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the people. That's something I'm definitely
The place is just a
learning.
piece of it.
The place is just the stage on which the people act. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the people. And there are still a lot of dear people here, so it's not like it's a full thing. And the most important thing is that everybody's happy. And then you come around, there's no jump, there's no bump anymore. So lame.
Oh, there it is. Alright, let's jump.
Ready?
Ready. Wow, that's a big jump.
Alright, this is the haunted house. Seriously, I still I hear my mom's voice being like, do not go in there. You will fall through the floor.
Oh, that's been like, abandoned for a long time.
It's been abandoned, I don't know, how old am I, 34? We moved to that house when I was 4.
And
When I was 3.
It was already abandoned.
It was abandoned. So,
Wow.
at least 30 years.
To be an abandoned house, the ghosts keep the lawn really nice and clean.
True.
Boom!
Yay!
It's a haunted house.
You're a mean man.
It's a haunted house.
I mean, people probably come in here, but not me, because I listen to my mama. It's falling apart more and more and more.
Does it look more deteriorated than what you remember?
No, actually, I just feel like I've always looked like this to me.
That's crazy. It's still here after so many winters.
Yep. This right here is where I grew up. The house I grew up in is just across the road from that bridge. Any song I've ever written that talks about rivers or valleys is about this place. We'll return to this spot in a future video, and for a very special reason. We were on our way to our hosts for the week, the Agars, dear family friends that I've known since I was born. And that evening, they had a little treat in store. I grew up listening and dancing to this music at festivals and celebrations, weddings and holidays. Now to have it here, soaking into the walls of our home, it was really, really special.
How about the knock power?
How about the knock? No power.
Then we were off to the next school visit, this time to Westby School District, where I attended junior high and high school. Okay, so this is an exciting day. We are at my old high school, also where I went to junior high, so 7th and 8th grade, all the way through 12th grade. And we are going to go visit the choir that I was a part of throughout my entire time here at Westby, and also see the teacher who actually was the first connection that connected me to the music industry in Nashville. So that was kind of a big beginning of things for me. So really special place for me, really special person, and I'm really excited to be able to sing for them, talk to them about the project, show them the bus, and yeah, they're actually coming around right now. Mr. Ng was my choir teacher and a very supportive mentor to me, along with my band teacher, Mr. Dunham. The band and choir rooms were a safe haven at school, home away from home. I was in this one like this. Oh, the Jets and the, what's the, West Side Story. And then, what else?
I think that's you.
That's you right there.
There you are.
Yay! So this is where my classmates and I performed our musicals. But since then, Westby has had a major upgrade. Wow! Holy cannolis on a cracker.
Wouldn't you love to have your musicals in here?
Yes! It would have been amazing to do the musicals in here. And the choir concerts and...
We're doing Sound of Music again, so we're gonna throw on the mountains.
Gotcha.
On the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
So these are all the different backgrounds, right, that you can have in a play.
It's easy to get up there, and so actually Ben Egger is still helping.
I just remember every single choir band concert that we had, there's this like group of really dedicated people who just never gave up. Year after year after year after year, fundraising, never giving up.
Summer of 17 they started building, yeah.
So yeah, 1996 is when the idea was like...
It's like 20 years.
It's just amazing. And now to meet the next generation.
Cora is a 2005 graduate. Very proud of you. Proud to have all you've done. So here's Cora.
So yeah, my name is Cora. 2005 grad, and this was my jam. This room is where I was every study hall, every break that I had. Marianne just got out of high school. She's faced with the decision of her life. Where she gonna go? And the easy part is done. And what she gonna do with her life? What she gonna do with her life? Yeah, what's your favorite place that you've traveled? Favorite place? Ooh! I think what still takes the cake for me is South Padre Island in Texas, and that's just, is this real? Is this serious? And he opened the door, and I just like ran out of my house and then right into the ocean. And that was just the coolest experience. Yeah.
So like, when and how did you decide to just like live in a bus?
That was José's idea. Next, we stopped over to see the 5th and 6th graders. Hi, good morning. Good morning. So my name is Cora. Jose over there.
Hola. Hola.
Jose and I are taking that big darn bus and going all the way across North, Central, and South America. Covering 2 different continents, 23 countries, and about 30,000 or more miles driving. Guess how many years it's going to take us?
At least 15.
What's your
2 years maybe?
guess? 2 years? Okay, what's your guess?
15.
15? Good guess. What's that?
20 million and 2.
All right, the answer is we don't know. I don't know how much time we have, but
You have plenty.
plenty of time. All right.
So 12:30, we could even film us if you want.
This is called On a Ride, which is kind of fun because I live on a bus and I'm riding around all the time. And it's all about having fun in life, going on adventures, but also remembering that the most important thing about everything is the people that you have in your life. So always be grateful for them and always tell them that you love them.
You can pull it down. Put your mask up and earlier.
Hi. Hey man, you've got your life, you've got everything before you, you'll never look twice. Don't fear the road that you're already on. If you love where you're at, then you'll always be on. Hey, hey, we're on a ride, gotta keep on going to the other side. Hey, hey, if you're wrong or right, gotta keep on going to the other side. Now this is the part where I usually like whistle something. You guys want to help me just whistle whatever you like?
So we had visited classes at Pleasant Ridge, Youth Initiative, and Westby. Now it was time to dig into the really good stuff, mural mode. And there was something extra special about this particular mural project. But for that, you'll have to wait until next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like.
Subscribe to our channel.
Send us a comment below. And for exclusive content and a behind the scenes view of the Art Be There Yet journey,
Join us on Patreon.
see you over on Patreon.